Welcome to all of you Shiksha 360, and today basically we will take a short session on the LC. Chapter number 28, Working Capital Finance. This is part third, and part third it is basically based on the letter of credit, clear letter of credit. In that, first of all, we will discuss the concept, and after that we will discuss case study, or you can say that numerical based question. Okay. Okay, so let's start. So in the book, they have given the topic that is appraisal of LC limit. Clear? Appraisal of LC limit. Clear? Among that, let us start with the different points they have given in the book. One by one, we have to discuss. Clear? So let's move towards the directly. Move to the point number 3. Clear? Move to the point number 3. Clear? So point number 3, let's discuss what they are trying to say. That I will help you to understand all this. So the time taken for one LC to remain in force. So how much the time taken by the LC? For one LC to remain in force basically depends upon the lead time. That is basically the time taken from the date of opening LC to the shipment of goods, the transit time, and the usance available to purchasers from the date of receipt of goods. Clear? From the date of receipt of goods. Clear? So here they will use the three terms. So now let's discuss one by one all these three terms. First one, they will use the lead time. Second term, they will use a transit time. Third term, they will use a usance period. Usance period. Clear? So first of all, we will discuss regarding the lead time. Clear? They have discussed regarding the lead time, that is time taken from the date of opening LC to the shipment of goods. Clear? That is known to be as the lead time. Clear? So let's discuss it. That is lead time, that is time taken. Okay, like you are order, basically you are giving your order. Clear? So from the opening of the LC, clear, that is basically from the opening LC to the shipment of goods. Clear? To the shipment of the goods. Clear? Time taken basically order, placement, or ordered, to the shipment of the order. Clear? To the shipment of the order. Order placed, that is basically you have ordered till you will receive, or basically till the order is to be dispatched. Clear? Till the order is to be dispatched. That is basically that much time it is known to be as the lead time. Clear? Like we can say that example, it is in 2 months, 3 months, 45 days. Clear? But we have to convert in the form of months for the easy calculation. Clear? For the easy calculation, basically we have to convert in the form of months. So this is lead time. Next one is the transit time. Clear? Next one is the transit time. So what is the meaning of transit time? Clear? What is the meaning of transit time? Clear? Here they will give the word transit time. Clear? Transit time. So transit time, what is that? Basically transit time, it is basically the time taken. Transit time, basically what? It is basically the time taken basically for what? So you are right, basically time taken basically for the goods. For the goods to reach the destination. That is basically from the shipment to destination. The time taken basically for that, it is to become under the transit time. Clear? It is basically comes under the transit time. Clear? It is, we can say that 15 days, 20 days, that is basically time of traveling the goods. Clear? Time of traveling the goods. Now next one here, that is third term they will use here, that is usance. So usance period. So what is basically usance period? Basically time given. To whom? Time given to the importer. That is the person who has ordered the goods to pay the amount. Clear? Time given basically to the importer basically for what? For the payment. For the payment. Okay. and that time is basically usance period, that is basically from the arrival of the goods. Clear? Basically from the arrival of the goods. That is basically the usance period. Clear? This is like we consider 4 months, 5 months, clear, or 2 months, depend upon case to case. So please tell fast. This is clear to all of you. Lead time, transit time, usance period. What is that? So now what is the total time? Now what is the total time is equal to lead time plus transit time plus usance period. So what is the total time here? It is to be lead time, transit time plus usance period. It is the total time. So this is the total time. We will discuss question on the basis of that. This is the total time. So here, so how to the total time, this point we have discussed till now. Clear? The total time for one LC to remain in force basically depends upon the lead time, that is from the order to the dispatchment, transit time, that is the time of the travel, and usance available to purchaser basically from the date of the shift of the goods. Clear? So if the frequency of opening LC is less than this, bank will have more than one LC outstanding at any period of time. Clear? No need to worry what they are saying here. Clear? I will discuss now. So please tell fast if this point is clear to all of you what I have discussed here. Please respond, because other point we will be able to understand only if you are able to this one. Clear? Nothing difficult. Now move to the next one. So total time period. We know, consider to pay test T, that is lead time plus transit time plus usance period. Clear? This one is the total time. Lead time LT, transit time TT, usance period UT. And one more thing, basically we can say that basically total annual consumption. This one is the annual consumption. They have not given here. EOQ, I will tell you. Annual consumption, we will assume that. Total annual consumption, we can say that that's the EC, or it is to be C. Clear? Simple represent that is C. Clear? Total annual consumption is to be C. Clear? Total annual consumption, or we can say that annual consumption, that is, or the purchased material, or we can say that purchased material under LC is to be C. Under the LC is to be C. Clear? Is to be C. So now what is the very, very important, that is LC limit. I have to discuss 2 to 3 questions on the basis of that. Clear? LC limit. Clear? Now what is the LC limit here is to be C. This one is the annual consumption. T, transit time upon 12. Clear? LC limit is equal to C into T upon 12. Clear? Here C is the consumption that is given in the crores or lakhs. T is the time period, that which we have to take in the time of months. Clear? T is the time period we have to take in the form of months. Okay. So this is the LC limit. Clear? This is the LC limit. Now move to the next point. Clear? Now move to the next point, which they will ask here. EOQ. Clear? EOQ. EOQ. EOQ basically that is the minimum order. Clear? EOQ, that is basically the minimum order. Please wait 5 minutes more. You will able to understand all the points. Clear? EOQ, that is basically economic order quantity. Clear? That is minimum order basically which you have to do. Clear? Minimum order which you have to do. Clear? EOQ, that is economic order quantity. Clear? Economic order quantity. Clear? So average amount of each LC. Clear? How we can calculate average amount of each LC? That is basically this is dependent upon the monthly consumption of goods and the economic order quantity. Economic order quantity basically it is estimated by examining the source of supply, means of transport, discount, etc. In case of imports, the economic order quantity is often larger in comparison to indigenous purchases. Clear? Indigenous purchases. Clear? So economic order quantity. Clear? Economic order quantity. Clear? Now next is basically how many LCs. Clear? Here they are asking number of LCs to be opened. Clear? Number of LCs to be opened. How we can calculate? once EOQ is estimated, like we can say that this is given 10 crore. Clear? So once EOQ is estimated, the number of LCs opened in a year can be calculated by dividing the annual consumption by EOQ. Clear? EOQ. So number of LCs opened. Number of LC opened is equal to the annual consumption under the LC or annual purchase under the LC, purchase or consumption upon EOQ. Clear? Upon EOQ. Clear? Upon EOQ, that is annual consumption or purchase under the LC upon EOQ. Clear? And the frequency of the LC. Clear? Basically frequency of the LC, how we can calculate? Frequency of the opening LC basically will be 12 divided by the number of LCs to be opened in a year. Clear? Frequency of the LC. Clear? Frequency of the LC. I will write here. What is the frequency of the LC? Is equal to 12 upon number of LC opened. Clear? 12 upon number of LC. So please tell fast. All the points are clear to all of you regarding what we have discussed, that is total transit period, total time, annual consumption, LC limit, EOQ, that is economic order quantity, number of LC opened, frequency of LC. Please respond fast. What I have discussed or what I have written here, it is clear to all of you. Now move to the next one. Clear? Now move to the next one. Basically, what type of question they will ask in the examination. Okay. So now let's discuss like first question basically on your screens now. So please try to solve that question also. Very easy question, not typical. If the lead time is 10 days, transit time is 20 days, and the usage period of 6 months, consumption of goods is 24 crore and EOQ is 12 crore. Clear? And EOQ is 12 crore. Clear? So now what is the number of LCs to be opened? Clear? So now what is the number of LCs to be opened? So number of LCs to be opened is equal to just simple thing, that is annual consumption 24 crore upon EOQ. Clear? Upon EOQ, that is 24 upon 2. That is 12 crore. Clear? That is 12 crore. So this one is our answer. So now hope it is clear to all of you how to calculate this type of question. Now one more question. So what is the frequency of the LC? What is the frequency of the LC? We know that number of LC to be opened is 12. So frequency of the LC, what is the formula of the frequency of the LC? Is equal to 12 upon number of LC to be opened. Clear? Number of LC to be opened. 12 upon number of LC to be opened. So 12 upon 12. This comes out to be 1. This one is the one. Now move to the question number 3. Find the total time taken for each LC. Clear? Find the total time taken for each LC. Clear? How we can find the total time? That is lead time plus transit time plus usage period. Lead time is 10 days, 20 days plus 6 months. So we can consider it to be 1 month plus 6 months. So total it is to be considered as 7 months. Clear? So this one is our answer. Clear? So this one is our answer. So I think up to this much point, it is clear to all of you, so that we will move towards the next question. So next question here is to be basically find the outstanding LC at a time. Clear? Find the outstanding LC at a time. Outstanding LC at a time. Outstanding LC at a time, it is basically is equal to the total time upon frequency of the LC. Clear? Total time of or over frequency of the LC. Clear? Total time here is to be 7 months upon frequency of the LC. Clear? Upon frequency of the LC is to be 1. Clear? Frequency of the LC is to be 1. So option number, please modify it is to be 7. Clear? Please modify it is to be 7. So 7 is the answer. Clear? So outstanding LC at any time. Clear? Outstanding LC at any time basically it is equal to the total time upon frequency of the LC. Clear? Upon frequency of the LC, that is 7 upon 1, it is to be 7 here. Clear? They are mentioning here that is also, sorry, that is how many LCs basically will be outstanding at a particular time. Clear? So the time taken, clear, the time taken basically for one LC to remain in force depends upon the lead time, transit time, and the usance available. Clear? If the frequency of the opening LC is less than this, then bank will have more than one LC at any point of time. Clear? At any point of time. Clear? At any point of time. Clear? So how many LC basically outstanding at a particular time? This is to be calculated. Total time upon frequency of LC. Clear? Total time of over frequency of LC. Now move to the next question here, that is LC limit. Please remove these lines. LC limit. So how we can calculate LC limit is equal to C into T upon 12. C into T upon 12, that is C is equal to the annual consumption of the goods. T is equal to the total time by 12. Clear? By 12. So here total T here it is to be in the form of months. T here it is to be formed in the months. So 24 into 7 upon 12. 1, 2. This is to be 14. Clear? So LC limit is to be 14 crore. Clear? LC limit is to be 14 crore. Okay, so this is the first type of questions you will get in the examination basically on the basis of the LC appraisal. Okay, nothing difficult, nothing is tricky. Just you have to understand the basic points so that you are able to answer the question. Clear? What they have given in the book, I have discussed all these points with the help of questions one by one. Okay, in the book they have given this one page or basically half page. We have discussed all these points. Clear? Basically we have discussed all these points one by one. Clear? We have discussed all these points. I think basically same time they have given 10 days, 20 days, 6 months. Total time 7 months. Consumption of goods is 6 crore. Clear? Which we have given taken here, that is 24 crore. And EQ is 1 crore. And here we will take it as 2 crore. Clear? Here we will take it as a 2 crore. Clear? Just I hope it is clear to all of you what they have given here with the help of the first 5 questions and this theory. So now we will discuss one more question. The question is present on your screens now. The question is present on your screens now. Now let's discuss. So following data basically for the sanction of import LC limit is available. Clear? Following data for the sanction of import LC limit is available. Annual import is 2400 lakh. Average amount of each LC it is to be rupees 200 lakh. Usage period, that is basically from the date of receipt of goods, is 4 months. Transit or lead time is 10 days. Transit period is 15 days. Clear? Transit period is a 15 days. So if the amount of annual imports increase to rupees 3000 lakh and the amount of each LC basically increases to 250 lakh, what will be the import LC limit? Clear? Just basically we have to calculate the LC limit. Clear? Sanctioned to the company, assuming all other parameters remain to be same. Clear? Assuming all other parameters to be remain same. So just we have to calculate first of all total time. Total time here we can say that 4 months plus 10 days plus 15 days. We can consider it as 4 months plus 25 days. So how we can 25 days into months? 4 months plus 25 upon 30. That is 5 upon 6. So 29 upon 6 months. Clear? 29 upon 6 months, which we will consider it to be approximately 5 months. Clear? Which we will consider to be approximately 5 months, because here all the answers are to be in the round of figure. Clear? So basically we will round off our value also. Clear? We will round off our value also here. So now move to the question here. LC limit, we know that consumption into time upon 12. Consumption is, that is basically annual imports basically increase to 3000. Write it here. Into total time is 5 by 12. 6 to the 6500. 1. Sorry, I am right here. 626500 1 250. So 250 into 5, that is 1250 lakh. Clear? 1250 lakh. Clear? So this is the answer. Clear? This is the answer. That is 1250 lakh. Option number B is the answer. Okay. If they will ask any other type of question, they will ask this type of question. Okay. Now we will discuss one more question on the same concept. Here, if the amount of annual imports decrease to rupees 1800 lakh, please remove these lines. If the amount of annual imports basically decrease to rupees 1800 lakh and the amount of each LC basically decreases to rupees 150 lakh, what will be the import LC limit basically sanctioned to the company, assuming all other parameters remain to the same? Clear? Just 5 into 1800 upon 12. This is the LC limit formula. Here 5 is the time period. Annual consumption basically decreases to this one. Clear? Decreases to. Annual amount of annual imports basically decreases to rupees 1800. Clear? One thing please remember. Here the word gives decreases to. Sometimes basically they will give the word decreases by. If they have given the word decreases by, so we will reduce 2400 minus 1800. Left, we will left 600 lakh. Clear? Left, what we have left here, 600 lakh. Clear? So please remember what they have given the word here, decreases to, that is this much is the annual consumption. Decreases by that, this much amount is we have to decrease now. Clear? This much amount basically we have to decrease now. Clear? Sometime basically in the examination, they will give both questions. Clear? One in the first option decreases to, in the second question decreases by. Clear? And sorry, and we will think that basically both the question are to same. Clear? Please remember this thing. Clear? So 6 to 300, 150, that is 750 lakh. Okay, so this one is our answer. Clear? So this one is our answer. Now move to the next question. Question number 8. So now they will little bit change here. So if the amount of usance period is changed to 4 months, 5 months, earlier it's to 4 months, now it is to 5 months, that is total week approximately 6 months. And the amount of annual import basically increases to 3600 lakh. Clear? Increases to. So what we have to calculate, what will be the import LC limit? Directly same question, LC limit 3600 into 6 upon 12, 1, 2, 1, 3, sorry, 6 upon 12 into 1800, 1, 2, 1, 1800. So this one is our answer, 1800 lakh. So this one is our answer. Clear? Just they have given that usance period they have changed. Earlier it used to be 4 months, now they have 5 months. This basically we will take it as approximately 1 month. Clear? That directly LC limit is to be 1800 lakh. Clear? LC limit is to be 1800 lakh. Now move to the last question of our this case study based discussion. So here we have to calculate the number of LC opened annually. Clear? Now basically we have to calculate the LC opened annually. Clear? What is the number of the LC opened annually? Clear? How we can calculate the number of LC? Please tell fast basically how we can calculate the number of LC opened annually. Hope it is clear to all of you what we have discussed. That is number of the LC. Clear? That is number of the LC 2400 upon EOQ. That is, this is EOQ. This is the annual consumption. So 12. Clear? Number of LC open annually, it is to be 12. And the frequency of the LC, that is 12 upon 12. Clear? 12 upon 12, that comes out to be what? Clear? That comes out to be what? Clear? So they will ask these types of different questions on the basis of the LC appraisal. Clear? On the basis of the LC appraisal, basically they will ask these types of different questions. Hope it is clear to all of you what is and basically appraisal of the LC. Clear? Appraising LC limit. Appraisal of the LC limit, what we have to calculate, what is the lead time, what is the transit time, what is the usance period, how we can calculate the total time, and after that basically we have to calculate the annual consumption, LC limit, it is equal to the annual consumption into time upon 12. EOQ, that is economic order quantity. So number of the LC opened is to be annual consumption or purchase upon EOQ, and the frequency of LC is equal to the 12 upon number of LC. Clear? 12 upon number of LC. Clear? On the basis of that, basically we have discussed some other questions. Clear? So hope it is clear to all of you what we have discussed in this session. So I request all of you, please do revise all the topics so that you are able to attempt maximum to maximum question in the examination. So thanks to all of you for joining this session.